So on a warm August evening, we put up a projector to show some YouTube videos, and 10,000 people showed up. This is Henri, part 2, one of 79 videos selected as part of the first Internet Cat Video Festival, held at the Walker Art Center. Henri, the tormented existential cat, received the Golden Kitty, or Art Best Picture Award for the festival. The Internet Cat Film Festival. I know it's good, right? The Internet Cat Video Festival, or CatVidFest, surprisingly became one of the most attended and covered events in the history of the Walker Arts Center. But people just didn't come to watch cat videos. They came to watch cat videos together. It's hard to compete with cats. So it might seem odd that the Walker Arts Center would host an event for cat videos. But for anybody paying attention over the last 3 years to the programming that we've done through Open Field, it would have seemed totally normal. Open Field, or as described by a local writer as the Happy Mutant Smorgasbord, is a program built on the spirit of new ideas, experimentation, and community. And that's exactly what the Cat Video Festival did. It crowdsourced the content, put it into a new context, and we invited people to join us. So what I want to talk about today is a little bit of the lessons that we've learned from Open Field. First, we started with an open field next to the Walker Arts Center. And we started with the question, or rather the invitation, what would you do with an open field? We also did something a little bit more risky. We invited programming from artists and from the institution, but also from the public. And we meant it. And we took that with all the risk and all the labor that comes with that. This didn't come out of a vacuum from prior research that we had done. But what emerged was a 3-year experiment that invited the public and artists to create a cultural commons on the Walker Green Space. It's inspired by the belief that creative communities are collective endeavors that thrive in a landscape of diverse ideas and practices. So I want to talk about 3 things in regard to Open Field. First, the platform. Second, play. And third, participation. First, the platform. We need to make a space, not only to house the activities, to be a catalyst for these activities to occur. So we built a tool shed. We filled it full of toys, games, iPads, library books, sporting equipment. We staffed it, and we made it a hub of creativity on the field. We put it in a bar and grill. And I cannot stress how important it is when you want to create a social space to include these amenities. It's also amazing the amount of artist projects you can fund through free drink tickets. It's quite a bit. We put in trees, picnic tables, umbrellas. We created a physical space to hang out and also for programs. We built a website, nothing revolutionary there. This had our calendar, it had social media feeds, but it also had a forum where the public could propose their own activity. Good platforms also need to have edges defined. And it's important when you ask the public, who may not be programmers, they may not be artists, to be able to assist them to make a quality program. So we set some guidelines. And we also realized that sometimes a blank page can be more intimidating than liberating. So within this very flexible platform, 300 projects over 3 summers emerged. Things like an iron pour, Suzuki violin concert, 400 people doing yoga at the same time. A night where we wrote handwritten love letters to random people in the phone book. If you want to freak somebody out, whether you know them or not, write them a letter. Local goth band shooting their music video, a community choir, a precursor to Cats. This is an opera for dogs with Los Angeles-based Machine Project. We didn't leave the dogs out. And also thinking about unusual spaces or underutilized spaces. This is performances happening in the parking garage, which is underneath the hill. We also learned how to negotiate with the city. We could say, attention, ambient music. We could not say caution, ambient music. That sounded dangerous. And it's Minnesota. So we took advantage of the seasons, and we created an igloo to do small performances inside. The next thing I want to talk about is play. And how important play is, and not only the childhood type of play, but the lifelong learning play, play for adults, and thinking about play and how important it is inside of the studio or the laboratory. We're on a giant hill. So one of the most important amenities is the giant hill, and what remains probably one of the most popular activities is rolling down the hill, for both kids and some adults. We also invite adults to come and do activities. So here's a live-action role-playing event, LARPing, that use the space as a map. The other thing that's very important if you're doing this type of programming is as programmers ourselves, we need to be willing to get dirty. That's the institution and us individually. So we need to kind of get in the trenches and do these things side by side with the participants. So here's me as the Battle School General in one of the LARPing events. And they didn't have to twist my arm very hard to do this, but also thinking about how can some of this playful activity that's happening outside come inside the museum as well. So here's an event where upon leaving the galleries, you could opt to take a lie detector test. And if you could prove you did not enjoy your experience, we'd give you your money back. Nobody passed. Open Field is also built on the idea of learning through doing. So here is a car break-in workshop for kids. Or thinking about the kitchen as a laboratory. Or revealing, pulling the curtain back of artistic process of how things are created. So here's a residency with a group called Rolu, where they actually recreated pieces from the Walker's collection out on the field. Or thinking about different ideas of the classroom. Here's a residency with Red 76, who made classrooms out of old shipping crates and then turned them into a flotilla on an area lake. And nobody got hurt. The last thing I want to talk about is participation. And the type of sincere participation, not the participation often that museums put forward where it's really very prescribed, but the scary type where you really don't know where it's going to go. One of the key threads throughout Open Field was the weekly drawing club. Every week, we invited artists and the public to sit down at a picnic table across from one another and make collaborative drawings. It was far more about the social aspect of art making than producing any particular pieces. We also had opportunities for collaborative performance. And we really wanted to create moments where people that did not consider themselves as an artist, this is our Lawnmower Bell Orchestra, even mowing the lawn is an event at Open Field. But we wanted to create moments where people that didn't identify themselves as artists could find their voice. And also flattening the hierarchy. So we could have national residency programs side by side with local artists doing plein air painting demonstration. So what? So what did we learn from this, and what could maybe be applied to other places? We learned that good participation is not a measurement, but rather good participation is a sentiment. It embodies our most cherished values and ethics: generosity, sincerity. Sometimes it looks like failure. I'm an artist, I know what failure looks like, and I know how important failure is as part of the artistic process and in learning. It provides a platform which people can bring forward their creative selves. It transforms even the most traditional places. It does not back away from complexity. Builds lasting, sustained relationships. Dismantles hierarchy. Encourages surprises and breaking some rules. Sometimes it's much easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. And it allows for play. And it's about pleasure. And about joy. And this brings us back to cats. Everything comes back to cats now. One of the key aspects of the Cat Video Festival is how happy it made people. And genuinely happy. The call you up 2 months after the event, like I got the other day, and it left a voice message that just said, "Thank you, happy." That doesn't happen. Out of all the coverage that we got for the event, there was one article that really resonated. And it was from Madeline Davies writing for the blog Jezebel. And she came to the event, and the article started out that she was going to be highly critical of all the people that were coming to this event. But by the end, she'd flipped it around. She writes, "What is sad is I've realized that we've gotten to the point in which people gathering together and celebrating something positive is considered lame." And this really stuck with me. Maybe this is because in a world that we are so digitally connected that we feel that when we have these moments of connection, that it's met with skepticism instead of embrace. But what we've learned through Open Field is that people really desire connection. They desire community and a place to share. And that's the power of art. It's the power of participation. It can deliver those moments of inspiration, of inquiry, of discovery, and joy. Simple, sincere, unironic joy. Cat video joy. And those are the moments that we hold on to, and those are the moments we remember, and those are the moments we feel compelled to share with one another. And that's Open Field. Thank you very much.